We got a new president and the same problems. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So I know one person is doing great, Donald J. Trump. But what's not doing so great, my friends, is our economy. And listen, this is not going to be a quick fix. Now, like everything the guy is saying, I was inspired. I think a lot of the country has hope right now, and as we need hope right now. Now, any problems that arise, and make no mistake about it, we've always had problems. So anybody thinking that somehow this time is different, it's not. The only thing that's different this time is worse because it's a bigger mess, a bigger cleanup on aisle 3 for this guy than he had his first go around. It's big and it's serious, and he knows it. He's alluded to that fact. Now, the reality is this. He's going to have a lot of fires to put out, not just the ones in LA, all over the world, really. We've got economic headwinds in front of us, and he is going to take, rightfully so. What is he going to do when these challenges arise? Well, of course, we know what he's going to do. He's going to blame it on the last administration, which it probably was. It was a mismanaged stimulus era that resulted in a lot of inflation, but we inflated the one thing you can never, ever inflate, and that's the housing market. Anytime the housing market exhibits bubble behavior, it's going to come with some crash risk. And friends, everything doubled in price. Your gas doubled, your eggs doubled, your home doubled. That is unsustainable, right? So he might be able to tame and bring some gas prices down by drill, baby, drill. Unfortunately, the real estate bubble is real and it's still alive and well. The challenge is it's now stopped. It stopped dead in its track. Like I've always said, this was a game of musical chairs, and the music stopped playing. And friends, we've seen all these brand new developments liquidating their homes at a lot less than what they were originally selling for when they started these phases of construction. Bad. And I'll tell you why. I mean, on many levels. But the number one thing is any of the new neighborhoods that were built during the crisis are all bubble buyers. So if you bought in the first phase of construction, and here's the kicker, you bought it based on a model home, a tour home, designed and furnished to perfection. You fell in love with furnishings and color schemes, and you bought a house based on a model. And then you got yours in the back 40, and you're commuting 2 hours to work every day, and you're watching the new people come in and buy their houses less than what you paid for yours. You're not happy. You are not happy about this at all. And these are the people, especially with these minimum amounts down, or I don't care how much you put down. If you can't make your payment and you can't sell for what you paid for, you're going to let this thing go. It's going to the auction block, which brings us back to our new president. What's he going to have to do if and when this starts to play out? It's playing out. The mainstream media, or last administration, or current, I don't care which one, all he wants to tell you what? There's a housing shortage. There's no housing shortage. It's an affordability crisis, obviously. And this could have all been avoided, by the way. All been avoided. If we had just risen rates right when it started to exhibit bubble behavior, we could have tamed this market. We didn't. We kicked the can down the road, and now the dust is starting to settle. Now there's starting to be blowback, and we're about to pay the piper. The chickens will come to roost on this thing, friends. The housing market, the U.S. housing market, is the backbone of our economy. So what will come if and when the housing market starts to grab headlines? Because eventually it's going to. This is unsustainable. Make no mistake about that. And we're seeing it already. A lot of countries a lot of places in the country starting to reverse course. Florida. I mean, you name it. Throw a dart at a map. You're going to hit somewhere that's going through price reductions and days on market and loan applications down and a very fragile backbone to our economy. It's teetering on the razor's edge. Well, there's going to be a lot of, that's the one challenge with this bubble versus, let's say, 2008 great financial crisis and foreclosure crisis that came along with it. That was an economical component. Loose lending. This is economical, stimulus, social, a lot of open borders, and our cities are now cesspools, and political. A lot of people just in it for political gain. More division, two sides of the aisle than we've ever seen before. Social, political, and economical components. The three-headed monster, the perfect storm, is looming out there. But we're all trained to follow the latest trending headline, aren't we? Fires. Oh man, don't get me started. We've got to do a video on fires. The fires in LA are going to impact everybody, friends. Everybody will be affected. It's bad. Unless you halfway expect it, then at least you're a little more equipped to handle it. But what's this thing going to require the second that these issues start to develop with anything, but especially the housing market? Because there's no way it can sustain itself. We clearly see it's not. If your area is going up, it's a tick or two. It's nothing like it did during the COVID spike. Overnight appreciation, never seen before highs. You're done. Even if they dropped rates, or they might drop rates. They're talking about dropping rates. It doesn't matter. You could drop them down to zero. The stimulus is gone. People don't have the excess money anymore. So it doesn't matter. Interest rates are no longer the issue. It's always going to be the price and the cost to carry these properties. Stick with me, because if you're with me as a real estate agent, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to put your needs before my own. You always want an agent better shape than their clients. But here it goes. I know you're waiting for it. Well, what's going to happen? I've been trying to get to this. This is what's going to happen, friends, eventually. Government intervention. They're going to try to save the market with government intervention, similar to like we saw in 2008. Did it work? No. No, it didn't. And what was it called? I'll tell you. The Obama-backed loan modification program. Just let us know your hardship. We'll lower your payment. Did it save it? It did not. It did not. The housing market's too big to save, friends, unfortunately. Some government intervention will be put into place, because there's going to be a lot of social unrest. It was the bubble's fault. My agent told me we should get into a bidding war. I was walked into this. It's not my fault. Don't worry, we're going to initiate a bailout program. We're going to allow you to not pay your mortgage. We'll buy your property and you can rent it back from us, and the government will own it. You just can't sell. Who knows? But government intervention will come, because the social outcry and unrest will force their hand. When in actuality, what's really needed here, friends? Because we say we have a housing shortage, we don't. We have an affordability crisis. That's it. The division of wealth, the great transfer of wealth. You got the rich and the poor. The middle class is evaporated. That's it. Very small demographic now, middle class. And the middle class can no longer afford homes, where traditionally always the middle class could afford to mortgage their homes. The ultra rich would just buy them outright, and the poor would rent. That was how we had the housing market structured. And it actually ran quite efficiently. There was nothing wrong with that. But then it became a speculative asset, and Wall Street entered the picture. And here we are now. Another speculative asset. So it's really some uncharted territory we're heading into right now, friends. And I'm afraid that as much confidence as I have in our current president being probably the best man for the job, not only compared to the last administration, but anybody else, any other candidate, clearly, he was our best choice. I don't think that even he is going to be able to just smooth this thing, gloss it over, nothing to see here, just a little blip. It's going to be an issue for sure. He'll be able to do a lot of things right. A lot of good stuff's coming, a lot of good stuff. But the housing market will have to take its lumps, because unfortunately you cannot overheat the U.S. housing market and expect it to sustain itself. And final thoughts that come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Donald J., welcome to the swimming pool. It's nice to have you back. We're cheering for you. We all want you to come make America great again. Unfortunately, the backbone of America is the U.S. housing market, and you're inheriting a bubble of biblical magnitude, and the birth pains of a crash are already knocking at the door, as the U.S. savings rate now is at an all-time low, with U.S. debt at an all-time high. They're tapped out. They cannot keep up with this inflation. Throwing them a bone might help, but unfortunately, it's still going to require the housing market to correct itself, and no amount of government intervention will do that. It's just going to have to play out. My advice, and I'd never suggest anybody do anything that I'm not doing or willing to do myself, insulate yourself in these times. Save your money for a rainy day. Expect the unexpected. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. If you're halfway prepared or expecting or acknowledging this as a potential scenario, you're going to be able to operate within it much more efficiently. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon. For your convenience, as always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.